What's going on, everybody? Webster out here, the man, the voice of fragrance, here at the first annual Atlanta Con here in Norfolk, Virginia. It reminds me very much of the beginnings of Awesome Con or Blur Con, where everything is very centralized. You're finding your audience, you're building things up. But even with that, there's a whole host of creators, artists, fans, dealers, and video game tournaments. Let's take a look. Let's see what's all here. What's going on, everybody? It's Webster Style, the man of voice fragrance, here with Miss N.D. Jones. N.D., how are you doing today?
I'm great. Happy Saturday to everyone. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for being here. This first inaugural, we'll say inaugural because what's happening in next year, AtlanticCon. What is your feel for the con so far?
I think it's great. I've met a lot of great people. It's a lot of energy, and I'm sure as the day goes on, it will be even more so. Everybody's happy to be here.
I was looking at this earlier, and I was like, it reminds me of like the beginning of Awesome Con or Blur Con. I get that sort of sense and vibe as well from it. Now, you have a whole host of literature here. Tell us about it.
Absolutely. So I write fantasy with a focus on black characters as friends, lovers, and soulmates.
So, what started you in your writing career?
Is basically at one point I got into comics and I hadn't ever read comics, but really what got me into comics was when Reginald Hudlin put together Black Panther and Storm of the X-Men, and I absolutely love that because I always like fantasy, but I love that black love element to it. And then I'm just looked around and say, we don't get enough of that. We don't see enough of that. So I actually started writing a little bit of fan fiction. And that really just segued me into creating my own characters, creating my own stories. Because I was already doing that. That's what happens when you do fan fiction. But yeah, so it was really just talking about that black love and fantasy mixed in.
So you talk about the Reginald Hudlin run on Black Panther. Any other writers, creators, authors that inspire you in your work?
As far as exactly what I do here, I would say that was what made me become like a writer. Being a reader is totally different. I read a lot of, actually, I used to be a social studies teacher, so I read a lot of black history, a lot of history in general, black politics. And so you see that in my book, that type of equity and social justice. But like I said, also family and relationships. So all of that is really just in the books that I write, in the books that I read and like personally.
So where can everybody find your books?
My books are most places you can find books online. So Amazon, Barnes and Nobles, Books a Million, Bookshop, especially if you really want to support indie authors and indie booksellers, go to Bookshop. I would highly recommend that. But that's where any place you can find books, you can find Indie Jones books.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate you.
Excuse me.
That's hilarious.
What's going on, everybody? It's Webster Style, man of voice fragrance, here with Generate Comics. We're here with the man, G. Walker. G. Walker, how you doing today, sir?
I am fabulous. How about yourself, sir?
I'm doing well, sir. I'm doing well. Now, tell us about Generate Comics.
Well, we're a company out of Detroit, Michigan. We've been out here for about 5 years. We've created a whole entire universe, even though that might not be always popular, but we did it anyway, and we're just out here scratching and clawing. That's what's going on.
Okay, scratching and clawing, you have to have a passion. Where does your passion for comics come from?
Well, I've always been able to draw and tell stories since I was a kid and so on, and I just worked with it, till I became an adult. Back in the '90s, I did some work for Marvel and DC, and then now I'm out here by myself, because I'm retired, so I'm just keeping myself busy.
Understand that. Where can everybody find your comics in your complete universe?
Well, you can find it at our website, www.generatecomics.com, and it's some stores in Detroit. Okay.
All right, thank you very much. Appreciate it. Hey, what's going on? What's going to buy? We're here at Webster Style here at Atlantic Con, and we're talking with somebody who I've been kind of playing email tag with, but I get to meet her in person, Miss Jessica Cage. Jessica, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great, thank you.
Now, the book that I was solicited about was I accidentally summoned a demon boyfriend. Tell us about that.
This is a rom-com fantasy about Raina, who does exactly what the title suggests. She picks up a fantasy novel and reads a spell from its pages and accidentally summons a demon who she now has a soul tie to. And it's about them trying to break the bond that this spell created between them, but along the way, they start to question if they really want to.
So what was your inspiration for the book?
So I do a series of videos on TikTok called Stitch Writing Prompts, and there were a couple that I did where people were like dressed up like as demons, or it was a couple that were doing spells as witches and stuff. And I was like, what would happen if these two like worlds collided, where we made fun of like the dating landscape that we're dealing with now as single people, and then also blend in these aspects of things that I've pulled from TikTok. So yeah.
And what kind of reception have you gotten to the book? Because I've seen some interviews, but I've also seen some people talking about your book as far as people that I follow online. What has the reception been like?
It's been really great, which is refreshing because I did kind of change my writing style in this. I did more comical, humorous writing, which I don't typically do. So I was a little worried about people reading that and liking that from me. But it's been really well, and I mean it's my best-selling title now, which is crazy because it's only been out for a few months and it's already outsold all of my other titles. So I'm very happy about that. Yeah.
Well, that's excellent to hear. You also have some other titles. Tell us about some of your other books here.
So I did bring a small collection of my titles because I do have 41 published works to date. But I bought Jen. Let me hold it up for the camera. This is my imaginings of what happens to the genie from the story of Aladdin. It's set 300 years in the future, and he's searching for his lost love, who he thought was dead. And then I brought Siren's Call. This is a woman who is half witch, half siren. Both sides of her family think she's too powerful to exist and are all out to kill her. And then I also brought My Tales of Novia, which is a cast of characters coming together to stop the awakening of an evil dragon queen.
So where can they find you to make I Accidentally Summoned a Demon Boyfriend, an even bigger bestseller, and to sell some more of your other books?
You can find me at my website, jessicacage.com, or at jcageauthor on all social media platforms.
Thank you very much, Jessica. Appreciate it.
of All-Negro Comics. So we're going to talk a little history on this out here, okay? Just for the sake of sound and that kind of thing, I'm just asking that you kind of be intentional and hear the debate. You may have to sound like the microphones and that kind of thing, okay? All right, let's introduce our panelists. First off, I want to introduce this great man right here, a former athlete, amen, entrepreneur, owns a gym, amen, the Honorable Jerome Floyd. Give him a hand clap. Come on, man, I'll do better than that. You want to be here, you want to be here, now, I do preach on Sunday, so don't get me started. We will have church, I have no problem. All right? Also, we have the Honorable Dr. Lee. He got a great read her Bible, because I don't have it. So we're going to just see what Peter says. Dr. Generate is a professor of English and African American Studies at the University of South Carolina. All right, that person called a God of justice, the problem of evil in the 20th century Black literature, and Eisner Award-winning DC Comics, racial and social protest, and also desegregating comics. And talking about comics, Black comic authors created in the 1940s. Okay, that's just a little bit of a resume. Could you please give her a hand clap and warm? All right. I know you guys hear my voice and looking at my face. So we got time to go ahead and show on the road. We're going to start with my man Paul. He's going to do an introduction, and we'll get into our conversation. All right? Thank you.
Good afternoon, y'all. So I thought it's proper to sort of introduce and get started by hearing from the words of Warren Evans, who put together All-Negro Comics. It says, All-Negro Comics presents another first in Negro history. Dear readers, this is the first issue of All-Negro Comics, jam-packed with fast action, African adventure, good, clean humor, and fantasy. Every brushstroke and pen line that draws on these pages are by Negro artists, and each drawing is an original. That is, none has been published anywhere before. This publication is another milestone in the splendid history of Negro journalism. All-Negro Comics will not only give Negro artists an opportunity to use their talents, but to glorify Negro historical achievements. Through Ace Harlow, we hope dramatically to point out the outstanding contributions of thousands of fearless, intelligent Negro police officers engaged in the constant fight against crime throughout the United States. Through Lionhead and Buffalo, it is on hand to give American Negroes a reflection of their national spirit of adventure and a wider appreciation of their African heritage. And through Sugarfoot and Snakefoot, we hope to recapture the almost lost humor of the lone wandering Negro history of the past. Finally, Due Diligence will give all of us, young and old, an opportunity to walk through the light of this very life, land of the Indians. And we're proud, too, of our kid education feature, a monthly historical calendar on which the contributions of the Negro in world history will be set forth in each issue. Lawrence Evans. So with that, we have Dr. Williams to give us an overview as to the beginnings and what is the significance of all of Dr. Williams, yes.
This is a topic that I brought up in a lot of my
Oh, sorry. Okay. Last coming around, I would say a few words about how this comic came to be. The whole third from reporters, Morris, and the journalist, Philadelphia, the Philadelphia Record. He actually wrote about racial discrimination in that paper, and he was interested in comic books. He knew, and it was quoted in Time magazine as saying that he knew that black kids were reading comics and that often what they saw was racial distortion. Who here has heard of Steamboat or Ebony White or musical figures? That was what was common in the 1940s. You were looking for black people, Asian, brown, black people. They all look like Steamboat characters. There's one and the music. And so when he left the newspaper, he got some friends from Philadelphia School of Art, including a brother, and they created All-Negro Comics. We'll talk about this more a little bit later, but they're really common and comic format where you see multiple stories, like detective stories, an adventure story, a little kid fantasy story, and then like a humorous slapstick story, and some other smaller things on the outside. So long before Black Panther, long before a lot of Fine Man was in this comic in 1947. So I can more. And any questions, next.
So real quick, I want to make this question to Ron. As a collector, talk about the importance of this book to you. There are collectors and there are influencers. And there's collectors and Ron Blood has an exceptional collection. So as a unique collector, what does this book do?
So before I answer that question, I want to talk about why NYC. Right? So we all know that I'm very much a fan of multifaceted. So we into a lot of different things. I love anime, I love video games, I love culture. One thing that I covet over all other things is comics, particularly black comics. And so this convention is a reflection of my interests. And so particularly highlighting, Red and Tribe and all of these other exemplary comic book collectors, they literally started at that point. And so so All-Negro Comics, for any collector, we're not just talking about black people, it's extremely high on their priority list to obtain. I think there's one on eBay right now for about $40,000. And it's not even like a high grade, I think it's a 7.0 or something like that. But I mean, relative to the year that it came out, that's extremely high grade, right? So, you personally, and actually not even personally, I speak on all people that are into comic books. That's the holy grail of comics. Like, if you're into comic books, everybody chasing this one book. It's like super attainable, and you can't find it. It's what cost you guys. Like, literally. And so, that book is probably the most important book that I have out of all comics. You have the cultural element, and the historic element, and then let's just keep it focused. There's a monetary element that comes along with that as well. So, to answer your question, it is the most important comic book of all.
This question probably not sure that I say it again, but it's always been going back in my mind. Given what this book is creating and all the person that has crossed, if those guys are inspiration for teleporting here today, what would they think of the book? What would they think of the culture for where we're at today as far as you like comics like here? That's all the question that it's always been scratching the back of my mind. What would those guys think of us today?
both y'all.
Well, I think they'd be proud, but I think they also be asking who are the people publishing what we're seeing today, right? Because one of the things that make this disease, they're actually black artists and writers and comics and more this one, but what made this disease today, black publishers, the editors and controlling that aspect of it, that they choices that they want to make. That paper, how these were, there were black artists who put their name on their art, right? So I think that they proud, but they also say, who's behind these?
She stole my answer. So she stole my answer. I was literally going to say, I think it's a two-story. I think they would be. Just from previous extent, what they were on. You know what I mean? And I was thinking, if they so many people put in the same type of effort. We have independent publishers in here right now. Literally right now. And those are their children. So in that regard, I think it would be very but the other aspect is, not to spear against you or DC, but they own the rights to everything that's popular. And so they control the narratives. And a lot of times we talk about this all the time. We literally talk about this all the time in our group chat. We don't like the story. And so we look at interest, and interest particularly, and we say, well, what do we look like? There's people like us. There's people like, the last show. There's people like David and Nancy. They're literally fans. So if we look at stories to push the right, we got to put our money behind, the publishers and the stuff that we got going on. So I have two different things in the same question. One of the things that Dr. Williams mentions in her book is the concept of racial time. What does racial time mean? So, racial time is a concept that we have, what we have, later, we get after everyone else. Everything across the board, freedom, the right to vote, the right to be exist, it all comes after others. Same thing in comics. Back then, we talk about what were they back then against comics. My answer is, I'm still the same comics until we got that. So you're saying I can't get a regular of your most popular guy? Are you saying that you might have book, but because you control the publication, controls the paper, and controls the media, controls the stores that come out, and I put they not come out as frequently as the mainstream book everyone. Same copies today. And that's kind of my interpretation of what they would do to us later. I think they would be happy to see this. That very happy.
So to give some context to those who may not know, All-Negro Comics, #1, came out in 1947. And the book leads into the thought that there was going to be an All-Negro Comics #2. What happened was the distributors were going to distribute the comic book. Print printing would not sell them the paper. That's literally why that comic book did not come out. It talks about racial time. It's important for us to understand that every creator that's in here, every artist that's in here, You have a lame duck. They're competing for your attention. If you don't hold their attention, they will find something else to do. They will find something else to buy. What happens is, when a creator who's just getting started creates a comic, or it takes, you got a little knowledge just to make that happen. But when it comes out, he's got to be able to, or she's got to be able to recruit and to put out the next product. That's the problem with the independent collective, particularly black collective. So it's nothing to do on this side. So when you think about that, I want to ask you talked about a shadow in talking about All-Negro Comics. So could you explain to us the concept of what shadow producers are?
So, in the chapter on All-Negro Comics, I talk about this concept of shadow work. I didn't come up with it. It's actually from Kevin Brown, the poet, currently running National Museum of African Culture. He basically talks about the fact that African American culture, art, literature, there's imagine a shadow line very long books that were going to be written, or that were written and never published, or that for whatever reason never made it to that stage. And he includes things that might have been lost prior, but also includes things that because of social reasons, people were not able to make it to that next level. And All-Negro Comics was included for publishing on that level. And the fact that they weren't even able to do it. I'll use this opportunity though to plug the second edition here of All-Negro Comics. It started with they did art and traditional comics, contemporary artists who are reenacting and Robert's publishing, Bill Campbell's is going to be putting out an issue or a book with Ryan, which is like funded. So there could be new Lion Man stories coming out. I'll mention that aside, but they're up to date. So now they can continue there. I'm not going
There's something I wanted to mention about this book. One of the things Dr. William pointed out in her book, he said Generate Comix, available at Amazon.com. Very easy to place. She mentions the fact that the title, All-Negro Comics, it was not unusual for comics back then to have the term all that describe all crime stories, all science fiction, all fantasy. It's not unusual. But I think it's more special with regard to the discipline of the book, because it's all Negro comics. The reason I say it's special is because of the way the book is done. The book takes characters and stories and genres across the African American experience, across the spectrum, because there are not a lot of them. There's stories of adventure in this book. There's stories of romance in this book. There's stories of drama, of crime stories, of humor in this book. And all of that is in this book because all of that is who we are as human beings. And it addresses the entire experience. But from a comic book perspective also, there's different levels of characters in this book. Some are a little bit more popular than others. Some are a little bit more challenging than others. But it's all Negro comics. So they try to, as you said, as a creator, particularly a black independent creator, the audience, you have a very limited video, you have an audience, and they're trying to get everybody up. All angles, trying to get more knowledge, trying to get, their interests in pursuing this interest in the book. Which leads to an opportunity. But because they did with the intent of doing the same thing. Dr. Willie mentioned it as well. Technically speaking, there's nothing first.
So, we're talking about this as a milestone, our first Black comic book. There were other comics that featured African Americans and had some African American artists and writers. There was another comic called Negro Heroes. It also came out a few months earlier in 1947, but they were reprints. Historical and biographical comics are also popular. So they were reprints, creators around African American, and they were put and the publisher is not African American, which is what distinguishes Millennial. We have original characters, not reprints, and Black folks that are all made in the language. So that's what makes it kind of first. At first, they're always
The basic difference, though, is that whereas the Negro was done as a compilation of different works that were already done, works of different publications, put it in a book. This book was done from the ground up with intent, right? And the intent was to represent all Negro comics, all different aspects of us, all different aspects of comics in general, all the facets of the same diamond. That's us. Right?
You're talking about all the aspects of but it's not a very political one. I mean, think about it. This is 1947. It doesn't talk about the war. It doesn't talk about segregation. How much do I actually have to support it?
So I am probably the most political person on this planet. I put my chest out proudly as a Black person. I'm always putting pressure on Black folks to be like all the time. And so, of course, yes, I want everything to be socially empowering, politically empowering, putting other things, human aspect of it is like, we need friends. We need respect. We need to be able to expand beyond trauma. Because a lot of times, politics are not going to trauma. Maybe up there, like, you don't think that, we hoping, we feel like, I like this on my you know what I'm saying? So it's a very, very beautiful experience. So when I do that, it's almost like a breath of fresh air. And then also, artists, writers, like, they're hearing a lot about themselves doing these stories. Because they represent the same racial experiences all. So it's like they were coming from. So again, it's a twofold answer. Like, I wanted to be super political, but at the same time, I wanted to give these artists and individuals gave space for breathe into bring beyond, trauma and struggle and politics and things like that. And I appreciate that. I agree 100%. I mean, not everything has to be about struggling. I don't need to tell you what is struggle is. I don't need to tell you our struggle is big. Good as it is. It's good to have an escape. Oh, Will Smith. Right? Will Smith built an entire career not having to do stuff, for the most part, about struggle. He plays a hero, a character, who just happens to be black. And that's, I think, how they approach a lot of it. It's what Richard says all the time. Every time he looks alive, he says, I have heard this black comic book, but what's the story? Is it a good story? Tell a good story first.
that person is black, will just enhance that. Is that? I think that, what's your question was, I think that we talk about politics. I think politics is multifaceted. And, you know, somebody doesn't necessarily have to be overly to be political. I think that some things are subtle. Black people by and large are not a monolith, who by and large live in cities. That doesn't make it comfortable. It's showing it does, but by and large, that's our culture. The thing is, how is that reflected? And so on the last page of All-Negro Comics, the original version, there's this page for there's this page of Ace Hard, who is the detective in this book. And he says something real incredible to me, but very simple. He says, remember, God doesn't pay kids. Stick to the church and use your fingers for good, clean sports. Okay? That's simple. It's not for political. You won't be out no vote. But it will charge you or encourage you to do something positive with your life. Which I think is the most political thing any of us can do, is to do something positive with your life, with your industry. And so, when we talk about the time in 1947, we're talking about literally 20 years before civil rights movement. We're talking about a time that was very polarizing in America. Ironically, we had more businesses, we had more control of the community before civil rights. So 80% of our homes were two-parent homes. A lot of this stuff happened in the 40s. And so what our dear brother was trying to do is not only cover the aspects of black life, but to show us that we are heroic, that we can dream, we can fantasize. There's the child, the due diligence, the children's fantasy in this book, Two Little Ladies. And only children, if I'm not mistaken, can see the due diligence. But it's a fantasy element, and I love the due diligence because I'll be transparent here. I was a kid who had an imaginary friend. Okay? So, yes, I had an imaginary friend. His name was Shaggy. He was a dog. And I know exactly where he is. But what I'm saying is that as a child, learning to play and learning to be with myself, I use that element to comfort myself, but also to dream. And so what All-Negro Comics does, one capacity of it, is not only can solve crime, but we can also dream. And so when we think, sometimes we think that we don't have the permission to live your life. This whole element, cosplay, game, all that, it's an element of your life. No one has a right, no one has to put my hand and say, don't do that. Because that's not a black thing to do. But the point is that All-Negro Comics represents our ability to see the black experience. And apologize for that time. So again, I love this because I don't need permission from nobody to be a blur, to have interests outside of what pop culture is doing. I am unapologetically a nerd, and will not apologize for it. All right? All-Negro Comics gave us that permission. And I'm gonna say this and shut up.
somebody that studies theology, there's a concept called first mention. And the whole concept is that whenever something is first mentioned in the scriptures, that it is to be used as a pillar of relevance. This is the first mention, which is why it should be important to you now if you do not know. All we have is Tuskegee there, there's a big slave there, it's all because somebody did to write stories and say and use the word. All
It's a good place to clap right there. So, listen, Thunder Stolen. I can't come in behind the guy. So I'm gonna do this real quick. Look at 1947. I just feel in my heart that all the stuff up there is right. There's right. 1947. But I think at a particular time, he probably was like, you know what? I'm already in this fantasy doing different sermons, different stories. I'm just going to show them the world of they might have to deal with it. And I'm not sure why they might like that. But a lot of comics were doing that at the time. Kind of a reflection of the world on the outside. And so that's the way that they chose to make it. It's an amazing story. Like I said, I can say more, but Thunder has a good story. And I can't jump on that a little bit more. But since I have the microphone, I can ask my next question. It's going to be a little controversial. I'm going to look at Paul when I say it. If he doesn't disclaimer. All following comments will not necessarily be attributed or held responsible on the ground. So, last question, right? So, looking particularly at, you know, do you think there's anybody, nothing that no longer for here, but looking at comics and protecting that amount of rating, do you think there was a particular, years later, another company that took inspiration from that? I know it's a little more detail, but I kind of want to speak on it just a little bit. Because we are big on saying that people take inspiration from us. That this is doing, or that's what we do over in our culture. So, I don't know what that is. We just point out that Herschel's nickname was Herschel Detroit. So, you know what you're doing. You know what you're doing. Yes, the idea may have some from Black Panther. Do you want to take a swipe at Black Panther? So this is Black Panther's #1 day, y'all. Black Panther. So any opportunity he gets to hate on Black Panther, he's gonna hate. So maybe, yes, maybe the inspiration came from Black Panther. But guys, we're gonna we gotta wrap things up. So we have to wrap things up. I'm sorry. Do you guys have any questions for Dr. Willard or the Black Comic Nerds?
What's going on, everybody? Website out here, the man of voice of fragrance. We're here with Vonell from Millenial Comics with Stray Dogs. Vonell, how you doing, man?
Good, good. How about yourself?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great. Now, what do you think of the con so far?
Man, it's been pretty good, man. It's a lot of heavy hitters out here, man. A lot of amazing artists and writers. I've been extremely enjoying the con.
Awesome. Now, tell us about Delta Dogs.
So Delta Dogs basically is about 7 cousins gaining superpowers, and next thing you know, they get trapped up in a gang war. And now it's like no way out, and they just got to fight their way through to clear the streets of the 757 area of Virginia.
Okay, so This is based locally then.
Yes, sir.
So what was your inspiration for Delta Dogs?
It's actually based off of me and my cousins growing up here in the 757 area. So I'm the youngest one in the comic book, Vonell, and of course, what we went through dealing with the different gangs that was basically integrated in our schools and stuff like that. So yeah, it's a lot. It's like really close to home.
So what are some of your inspirations for making comics, or any artists, any books particularly that really got you to want to make your own comic book?
Of course, you got the Milestone comics, and once I seen those, me and my brother, we started drawing comic books when we was a kid. Like it started really early on. Of course, the cartoons and whatnot. Man, so we wanted to basically take more control of the comic books because of representation. We wanted to put more of our culture in there and whatnot. So that's basically like really kind of got us going to make sure that we are able to tell our stories versus somebody else telling it for us.
Got you. Thank you. Now tell everybody where they can find Delta Dogs.
So you can find Delta Dogs at millennialcomics.com, millennialcomic.com. And we're basically, we have our digital copies, we have our physical copies where it has a volume books and stuff like that. And also we sell our floppies.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it. Take care. Thank you.
Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Derek Barrow, aka Russian Barrow. I've been comics since 2016. Now I'm in the resume business, and my most recent achievement is 2023 Sexiest Cosplay Contest. That is for
Very nice. Next up, we have Danny and Tia from Final Fantasy VII. All right. Next, we have Captain Nick. Captain Nick. We have Ryan. Very nice. All right, next, we have Sonic, Riley coming on to the stage. All right, we have Ryan, the Tuna Guy. All right, we have Brendan as the Flower Spider-Man. And then we have Christina as Poison Ivy. All right, we have Mackenzie with Mighty Dog for the Total Project. Apparently, she is still in Total Project. Look at that. All right, next we have Miss Melly as Velma Scooby-Doo. Next we have Monster as Alpha the Black Clover. All right, we have Kylie as Vanilla the Black Clover. All right, next we have Ava Alexa in her little character. All right, we have Ava as Bloody Mary. All right, next we have Red as in from Power Next we have Stefan as Indiana Jones. Next,